Hi, you guys. This is Civil Disobedience, bringing you the latest in the R. Kelly, Surviving R. Kelly episodes reactions. First, I want to point out that one thing that is frustrating for me as a person who's trying to be supportive of women finding their voice against sexual assault is the mingling of women who actually were saying no with women who actually entered into a relationship with R. Kelly. And now they're admitting that, oh, well, I did it because he was R. Kelly and who can say no to R. Kelly? Or I didn't really like him, but I felt like this is where I needed to be for my career. I feel like you can't now decide to say to us that you only went with him because of who he was and expect us to see you as a victim, because if you did not admit to this man that you were unhappy or you did not like him like that, how do you expect him to know? No one's a mind reader. Two, if you're not letting him know that the things that he's asking of you are perverted and you're turned off by them, how is he to know that it's something that's perverted if it's something that he's been normalized to by abuse? I feel like they're avoiding the fact that R. Kelly needs help himself, and they're trying to inflict prison time on him instead of giving him some type of way to reprogram himself away from these perversions. Okay, so Asante Magee admits that she was 35 years old. And as far as I know, she was one of the oldest women that dealt with him. And she's just like the young girl. She wants to call him daddy. And she wants to live in the house. And she's knocking to get food. And the problem I have with it is they're admitting that they did this simply to stay in a relationship with a rich man who was famous. And Lifetime is trying to act like they were done a disservice. I don't see how psychologists and psychiatrists aren't noticing that the toxicity in him fed off the toxicity in her, and they were both validating each other, and that consequently helped to fuel him to keep on with women like Karen Rodgers, who was 19. Now, the thing with her is she was given valid advice by her parents to not enter into a relationship with R. Kelly. She chose to ignore it. And even though she ignored it, she admits that she wasn't really attracted to R. Kelly, but who could say no to R. Kelly? I find these disturbing because it seems like they're not admitting that R. Kelly was fueled by lack of knowledge, and the women should have admitted it, and someone should have got him some help. So compare the first two women to the women like Tiffany, who was 15 years old. So you have this child who was allowed to party with R. Kelly. And I noticed how they're specific in the girls who were underage saying they were around girls, and women like Asante Magee aren't admitting that there were young girls around when they were around. And I feel like that's a problem for me, because women like Asante Magee and women like Karen Rodgers, who are of age, they held a responsibility to society just like everyone else. Okay, now this young lady, Tiffany, I can understand her plight because she was a child. So it's easy for you to say a child wants to please someone that they see as famous or someone that they view as an icon. Those older women, I really just have no sympathy for, and they had no business outranking this woman on this docuseries reality TV show. Another thing I don't like is how they are not going into depth about how R. Kelly's business manager must have given him the green light along with Aaliyah's parents. Let's just be honest. They aren't cooperating with the docuseries because they were fine with their daughter dating a man on the level of R. Kelly. And this is why I say R. Kelly is a person who needs help. When you have this much money around you and people are able to help you get in touch with people who can get young girls for you, they are help. It's just like with drug addiction. R. Kelly's not out in the streets looking. There was a whole high school that was allowing him to come through their front doors and talk to young girls. All of this is on the docuseries. So where I have an issue with the entire situation is, how do you expect us to view this man as a monster, say mute R. Kelly, but then not blame parents and grown women for saying to this man, you wrong for having girls up in here. I would have never, as a grown woman, I would have never been okay, no matter how much I like a person, no matter how much they have to offer me. I would never be okay with a young girl being in my presence while I'm being an adult, let alone being in my presence while I'm doing something sexual with a man. So to me, they allowed him to keep this type of attitude. And now, because it's all hitting the fan, and now because criminal charges are being pressed, instead of saying, well, no, we were all in on it together and R. Kelly really needs help, they're just willing to let him be thrown under the bus. I was proud of the Me Too movement when it started. And one thing that the Me Too founder said that really got under my skin was how the black community tells little girls to not sit on a man's lap and to not talk to strangers, but at the same time, they don't do anything if these rules are violated against the violator. That's not true. I hate that she was molested as a child and she feels this way, but the parents that they are criticizing, who says that some of these parents need jail time, we're saying that because we're the parents who keep up with our children so that they don't end up sexually molested and raped and coerced like by men like R. Kelly. We're the parents who are teaching our sons that I will beat your ass myself before I allow you to treat a young lady like this, because we don't want our sons to be R. Kelly. So for 1 minute for you all to say we allowed this to happen, then go to saying we can't blame the parents, then to go to say that we are not doing anything to violators of our children, I don't appreciate them presenting this on this diverse network. The black community as a whole needs work, but every community needs work. And just because these women have made poor pussy choices with a man who has perversion issues and needs therapy does not mean that the entire world is supposed to, one, stop buying music, and two, feel bad because you all didn't make proper choices. This is civil disobedience. Let me know what you think. Peace.